hello there. Come on in. Grab your tea, grab the popcorn, and maybe grab a little bit of humble pie, because oh boy, neighbors, do we have a story today that is going to make the history books of Hollywood failures. We have watched the slow-motion train wreck of the Sussexes for years, haven't we? We watched the Spotify deal crumble like a dry cookie. We watched the Netflix deal hang by a thread. But what I am about to tell you is the final nail in the coffin of the Duchess of Delusion's billionaire dreams. It started with a whisper, a tiny rumor floating out of the steel and glass fortress of Amazon Studios, but within hours it grew into a thunderstorm that is roaring across the Hollywood hills and crashing right into the beige walls of Montecito. Jeff Bezos, the man who built an empire on efficiency, data, and ruthless delivery, is done. Not let's reschedule. Not let's renegotiate. He is done. And when that news hit the desk of Meghan Markle, sources say the meltdown was nuclear. Now I know you guys are excited for more from Pord. But before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, come on guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, we are talking about a complete collapse of the narrative she has been trying to spin for 5 years. Picture the scene. Meghan, the woman who thought she could charm the world with word salad and a title, realizing that one of the last major pillars of her Hollywood comeback had just collapsed in one brutal stroke. Because make no mistake, this wasn't just another media hiccup. This wasn't just a scheduling conflict. This was the kind of decision that shifts an entire industry. When Jeff Bezos says no, the rest of the industry listens. The silence from Montecito is deafening, but the noise behind the scenes, it is absolute chaos. Let's rewind, because this didn't happen overnight. This meltdown was the result of weeks, maybe months, of pressure building behind the scenes at lightning speed. Rumors have been swirling across studio backlots for ages. Executives were frustrated, producers were confused, projects were stalled, and meetings were postponed indefinitely. You see, Amazon isn't Netflix. Netflix was desperate for content when they signed the Sussexes. They threw money at a wall, hoping something would stick. Amazon is a data machine. They don't care about your title, they care about your turnaround time. And Amazon insiders whispered that the Sussexes' ideas were unfocused, inconsistent, and frankly, lazy. They said production logistics became a nightmare, and that every discussion felt like Meghan and Harry were trying to recreate the Oprah interview energy again and again. The sun was shining for us. We are so lucky. Amazon executives don't care about the weather, Meghan. They care about the profit margin. But here's the real breaking point. The moment that makes you almost want to cringe if you weren't so busy sipping your tea. Jeff Bezos has no patience for chaos. And apparently, chaos is exactly how insiders described the Sussex partnership attempts. Remember the Kardashian debacle? Imagine attending a person's 70th birthday celebration, Kris Jenner's to be exact, and trying to make it all about you, trying to network aggressively in a room full of people who just wanted to eat cake. That behavior doesn't fly with the big dogs. One source put it bluntly, and I want you to remember these 6 words because they are going to haunt Meghan Markle forever. Amazon doesn't babysit celebrities. You deliver or you're replaced. Those 6 words were Meghan's worst nightmare. She is used to being babysitted. She is used to the palace PR machine cleaning up her messes. She is used to Harry nodding along to whatever she says. But Jeff Bezos? He doesn't nod. He calculates. And according to insiders, she could smell trouble before the decision even went public. Meetings suddenly became shorter. Calls were returned slower, or not at all. Emails from Amazon execs shifted from "we love the pitch" to "let's revisit this next quarter." And we all know what next quarter means in Hollywood terms. It means never. It means your contract is dying a slow, painful death. Now, here's where it gets even more explosive, and frankly, delicious. Bezos didn't just pull the plug quietly. No, the decision was made strategically, right as Amazon greenlit a series of new high-budget projects with established creators. It was a signal. It was a flare sent up to the entire industry saying, we are pivoting away from unproven, celebrity-driven content. And that is when the real panic hit Montecito. Because Meghan had counted on this. She had banked everything on Amazon being her lifeboat. Netflix is sinking, Spotify has already kicked them off the boat, and Amazon was supposed to be the luxury yacht that saved them. It was supposed to be the big, shiny blockbuster moment that would prove she belonged at the top of Hollywood's power ladder. Instead, her dreams got stomped on by a corporate boot the size of a small country. Sources close to the Sussexes say Meghan was devastated. And not just sad, we are talking full-blown, lock the door, don't look at me devastated. One insider recounted that the atmosphere inside the Montecito mansion shifted instantly. Meghan reportedly locked herself away for hours, angry, overwhelmed, and terrified of what this meant for her next big move. Harry, the brainwashed favorite royal lapdog, was said to be pacing, confused, and quietly furious, probably because he realized he has burned every bridge back to the family that actually supported him. If Netflix was lukewarm and Spotify called them grifters, and now Amazon says no thanks, where do they go? QVC? It is the brand fatigue, neighbors. It is real. Hollywood executives have started whispering a phrase Meghan never wanted to hear, the Sussex delusion. It is a beautiful way of saying people have heard the story, they are bored of the victimhood, and they are tired of the beige. And as the news spread, the reaction in Montecito spiraled. Even Harry reportedly admitted privately that they needed to rethink everything from scratch. But how do you rethink scratch when you have no talent to build on? Let's talk about the specific details of the meeting that allegedly sealed their fate, because this is pure comedy. An anonymous Amazon producer claimed the Sussexes' final pitch meeting went off the rails in the most Meghan way possible. According to the leak, Meghan arrived confident, even triumphant, and presented a visionary concept she believed would redefine celebrity docuseries forever. She talked about global influence, cultural change, and inspirational visibility. But then, the cold reality of business hit. An executive reportedly asked, Meghan, what makes this project stand out from the dozens of others we've been pitched this month? What is the ROI? And Meghan, in her signature style, launched into another word salad about lens and impact, but had no numbers, no data, no plan. One insider said it felt like she wanted another therapy session, but Amazon doesn't do therapy. They do content. The meeting ended early. That is the kiss of death. And then, the fallout. The moment the news leaked, the Hollywood gossip machine erupted like a volcano. Phones lit up, agents whispered, "Oh my God, it's happening. They're collapsing." It was the emperor has no clothes moment for the streaming era. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of them exploded. Is Meghan canceled by Amazon? Did Bezos ditch them? Is the Sussex brand over? And the answer, neighbors, seems to be a resounding yes. But the most damning part of this entire saga is the silence from the people who used to defend them. Where is Oprah? Quiet. Where is Tyler Perry? Quiet. Where are the Clooneys? Long gone. When a billionaire like Bezos walks away, everyone else checks their own wallets and decides it's not worth the risk. It is a lonely place to be, stuck in a mansion with 16 bathrooms and no friends. Meanwhile, let's contrast this absolute circus with the dignity of the people they left behind. Look at Prince William. Look at Catherine. While Meghan is pacing the floors of Montecito crying over a rejected pitch, William is out there launching the Earthshot Prize, actually saving the planet, actually engaging with global leaders who respect him, not because of a Netflix deal, but because of his duty. King Charles and Queen Camilla are hosting state visits, representing the nation, doing the actual work. They don't need to pitch themselves to anyone. Their value is intrinsic. It is built on centuries of service, not a fleeting moment of celebrity. The difference is blinding. The working royals understand that duty is a marathon, not a sprint for cash. Meghan and Harry thought they could sprint to the finish line, grab the bag, and run. But they forgot that in the real world, you actually have to deliver the goods. You can't just slap a title on a jar of jam or a vague documentary idea and expect billionaires to hand over their checkbooks forever. The bank of royal curiosity has closed and the accounts are empty. Now picture the aftermath in Montecito today. It's been less than 48 hours since the news broke. The Bezos rejection is trending. The grifter's label is back, and Meghan is trying to regain control. She is reportedly drafting a statement, a clapback, because that is all she knows how to do. She attacks, she doesn't reflect, she doesn't learn, she attacks. But here's the twist that makes this satire feel so real. Bezos makes his move. The billionaire titan releases a single, cold corporate line through a spokesperson, or maybe a simple tweet. We are reviewing our partnerships and adjusting future commitments. No names, no drama, just business. And that silence, that refusal to engage in her drama, is the ultimate power move. Meghan can't fight silence. She needs an opponent. She needs a villain. But Bezos isn't playing the villain. He is playing the CEO. And you cannot gaslight a spreadsheet. So where does this leave them? It leaves them in a very dangerous position. The Hollywood power couple facade is cracked. They are looking more and more like reality TV wannabes than royal exiles. The fear in Harry's eyes must be real. He gave up his military titles, his patronages, his family, and his home for this. For pitch meetings that end early, for rejection from Amazon, for a life of pacing around a mansion, wondering why the world doesn't love you anymore. It is a tragedy of their own making. They had it all. They had the platform, the love of the British people at the start, and the chance to do real good. But they traded it for ego. They traded it for the spotlight. And now that the spotlight is turning off, they are finding out that the dark is a very cold place to be. I suspect we will see a desperate pivot soon. Maybe a relaunch of the TIG. Maybe a line of beige home goods sold on QVC. Maybe a memoir from Meghan titled The Woman Who Tried. But whatever it is, it won't be Amazon Prime. That ship has sailed, sunk, and hit the bottom of the ocean. As we watch this unfold, let's take a moment to appreciate the stability of the monarchy. Let's appreciate that we have a future queen in Catherine who would never, ever put herself in a position to be rejected by a streaming service because she knows her worth isn't defined by a contract. She defines her worth by her service to us. So tell me, neighbors, what do you think? Is this the end of the Sussex Road in Hollywood? Do you think they can recover from a rejection by Jeff Bezos? Or is this the beginning of the end for their brand? And how much would you pay to see the footage of that pitch meeting? I know I'd subscribe to Prime just for that. Let me know in the comments below. Stay safe, stay sensible, and remember, real royalty doesn't need a pitch deck. See you next time, ta-ta, and bye for now.